Yeah, man. I just wanted to have us all gather around the campfire and talk about, what we expect out of the greatest pod and what people can expect out of it because we have great authors, great creators, all types of people coming through to talk to us. But we also have introspective conversations amongst ourselves that I think people are going to really like.
Ed, what gap in the podcast universe does the greatest pod fill?
I think if you want positive people that are also kind of assholes at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I think we strike that balance between like hypercritical nerd assholes that everybody sees on the internet, but also I think we have a little bit of that. It's really hard to make things. And when great things come along, they need to be celebrated by the sheer alchemy of like, how did this great thing even happen? So I think our podcast is going to explore great things and not so great things and how maybe equal effort went into both of them.
Listen, the internet needs a better class of nerd asshole, and we're going to give it to them.
Yeah, and I will be the really nice version of that, probably. Another thing that I like is that we will be exploring what makes a person tick by looking at the things that not only make them want to be a jerk about something, but also what makes them really feel joyous about something. And that's one of the favorite things that I've always liked that the three of us do is really pull out people's personality and get to see what makes them excited about the things they love.
You know what's a really boring, dumb question in our modern age? Who is the greatest superhero? It's subjective. It's nonsensical. You've heard it a million times. You know what's a better question? Who is the greatest fascist amongst superheroes? What was the greatest missed opportunity in the history of science fiction? Who is the greatest unknown artist in comic books? You know, I want these more nuanced questions to matter a little bit more than who would win in a fight, Superman versus the Hulk. Because I don't give a shit. What I give a shit about is answering those questions that nobody has tried to answer before. And there's still a lot of them out there if you use half your brain.
Yeah, and I'll just end us off with this. I used to think the success of comic book movies meant that the world had, caught up with the nerds. But now I see that modern nerds are just a lot of times brain dead consumers vomiting tribal talking points at each other. And when you look at a comment thread on Twitter, the focused inanity therein could power the multiverse. And I just would like for that to not be what people see in nerd culture. I think this podcast is our contribution to the conversation and our attempt to not just be that. So if you're down with that, you'll really like this podcast.
So subscribe to The Greatest Pod wherever you get your podcasts and check out our YouTube channel because you will love our faces.
And also, you can support this enterprise by going to patreon.com/the greatest pod. And you can join our little tier system and get extra pods, get art from myself and Ron, and occasionally even the great Bill. And we will service you to completion. Stupid.
Keeping that one.